When it comes to surviving a real gunfight or handling the chaos of combat, what real fighters and seasoned pros teach is nothing like the flashy heroics in blockbuster movies or video games. The truth on the ground is that staying alive depends on solid preparation, strict discipline, and a bit of luck. If you're experiencing that cinematic moment where one person dodges bullets in slow motion, you're in for a rude awakening. Here are some practical, hard-won lessons that have proven effective in real combat. Many newcomers and armchair strategists think that being a great shot or having the best gear is enough to keep you safe. But even with top training, a rifle 200 meters away only needs to shift a few millimeters to hit you. Experienced soldiers know that while rigorous practice boosts your chances, there's always an unpredictable element, fate if you will. That's why every drill and maneuver is repeated until it becomes second nature, so when the critical moment arrives, you react instinctively and efficiently. Movies love to show characters in futuristic armor that seems to deflect bullets like magic. In real life, proper protection is important but comes with limits. Even if you have plate armor covering your front, back, and sides, it won't make you invincible. You must always face your enemy squarely. Any tilt or sideways movement exposes parts of your body that aren't protected, leaving you vulnerable. This basic discipline, keeping a proper stance, is one area where the sanitized movie version of combat falls far short of reality. There's also the myth, popular in video games, that a tall, agile fighter can run and shoot without worry. Real fighters agree that staying upright makes you an easy target. The best move in an open area is to get low, go prone to reduce your profile to a small silhouette. It might not be glamorous or dramatic, but it's one of the simplest and most effective ways to avoid enemy fire. Once you're down, the next step is to find cover immediately. Cover doesn't always have to be a big wall, building, or vehicle. Sometimes it's just the little dips and slopes in the ground, the small depressions or natural irregularities you might miss if you're standing, that break the enemy's line of sight and give you precious seconds to reposition or return fire. In video games, characters often unleash torrents of bullets with wild abandon, but real combat demands precision and control. Instead of trying to hit every enemy, you fire in controlled bursts to force them to keep their heads down. This suppression fire isn't about wiping out every foe instantly. It's about creating a barrier that buys you critical time, allowing your team to advance, retreat, or reposition as needed. Explosive like mortars, RPGs, and grenade launchers might be blown up on screen with spectacular effects, but real experts warn that these threats are both unpredictable and extremely dangerous. While heavy armor might protect you from bullets, explosives need extra layers of defense, such as soft armor inserts and special pelvic protection. A Kevlar helmet won't stop every bullet, but it dramatically reduces the risk of shrapnel injuries. It's also crucial to keep your team spread out. If you're too close together, one explosive can cause catastrophic mass casualties. Spacing out minimizes that risk and keeps your unit's overall fighting capability intact. Movies often show dramatic escapes into conveniently located bunkers, but in real combat, any available cover can be a lifesaver. Trenches, dugouts, and even basements offer far better protection than staying on the surface. Underground, an explosive has to hit you directly to do serious damage. That's why experienced fighters always scout for and use any subterranean shelter they can find. The sounds of real gunfight are nothing like the dramatic soundtracks in films. There's no heroic music, just the distinct crack of a bullet breaking the sound barrier and the muted thud of rounds hitting the ground or objects. These sounds are vital cues that real fighters learn over time. Recognizing whether you're under direct fire or if rounds are simply hitting the terrain can be the difference between a well-timed maneuver and a fatal delay. When you hear that first crack and thud, you need to act fast. Trained combat teams turn immediately toward the direction of fire. This isn't a leisurely process, it's a quick, calculated move to assess the threat and start your defense. Once you've pinpointed the danger, take a short, aggressive zigzag sprint of about 3 to 5 paces to throw off the enemy's aim. As you move, use your emergency sights and fire a few rounds to distract the attacker, giving you just enough time to get down and find proper cover. There's a misconception fueled by video game logic that once you've taken cover, you can simply wait for reinforcements. In real life, you must keep moving. The moment you settle into a position, the enemy learns your location. As soon as you're down, whether by taking a knee or going fully prone, you need to move immediately. Crawl to the nearest small hill, ditch or natural dip and use intermittent suppressive fire as you shift positions. This constant movement minimizes your exposure and forces the enemy to keep adjusting their aim, reducing their overall effectiveness. Winning a gunfight in real combat depends heavily on teamwork. Every member of your unit must know their role and execute it flawlessly. When everyone performs their part, whether it's returning fire, finding cover, or sharing vital information, the entire team becomes much stronger. This teamwork lets the leader step back from the immediate chaos and focus on broader strategy. Simple, standardized communication methods, like sharing basic details about distance, direction, and enemy description, the 3Ds, or using methods like GRIT, Group Range Identification Type, ensure that every move is deliberate and that everyone is on the same page. There's also a myth that you can fire an endless stream of bullets without consequence. In reality, ammunition is limited and every round counts. Tactical trainers stress the importance of controlled fire. An initial burst of about 30 rounds per minute might help suppress the enemy, but it can quickly drain your ammo, leaving you exposed. Instead, deliberate fire around 10 rounds per minute ensures that each shot is calculated and precise. This balance between aggression and conservation is crucial because running out of ammo in a real fight is a risk no one can afford. Many believe that fighting during the day gives you an advantage because you can see better, but experienced fighters point out that daylight engagements have their own challenges. The glare from constant muzzle flashes can be disorienting, making it hard to see enemy positions clearly. Even with advanced optics, the overwhelming brightness of multiple flashes creates visual clutter that hampers your aim. The idea that you can easily scope out every enemy in bright daylight is a dangerous misconception. It's also easy to assume that the enemy is disorganized or not very tactical. In reality, seasoned fighters know that local opponents, whether insurgents or guerrilla fighters, often have a deep, intuitive understanding of their surroundings. They use natural cover and set up ambushes with machine guns in key spots to block escape routes or funnel you into kill zones. These carefully planned positions can leave you in no-win situations if you're not ready to adapt. Don't underestimate them just because they lack fancy gear. Their experience and local knowledge can be a serious challenge. Winning a gunfight isn't just about flashy moves or superhuman reflexes. It's about smart, disciplined tactics and solid teamwork. Keeping your cool and trusting your training are key when the pressure is on. When the rounds start flying, your ability to quickly assess the situation, pinpoint the threat, and use a mix of rapid, suppressive fire followed by precise, deliberate shooting is essential. Constant movement and smart repositioning are non-negotiable. Once you've taken cover, don't just sit there. Keep shifting your position to disrupt the enemy's aim. Use every bit of available micro-terrain for concealment. That can be the difference between life and death. A well-synced unit can time its fire so that while some members engage the enemy, others provide covering fire or maneuver into better positions. Clear, concise communication reduces chaos and keeps everyone working together. Staying aware of your surroundings, even amid the noise of battle, is also crucial. Knowing where your teammates are and listening for subtle cues about enemy movements lets you adapt your tactics on the fly. This ongoing, informed adaptation ultimately tips the balance in your favor. For anyone still charmed by the sanitized image of war from movies and video games, here's the bottom line. Real combat is messy, unpredictable, and unforgiving. It isn't about scoring dramatic headshots or pulling off gravity-defying stunts. It's about survival through smart, coordinated, and disciplined actions. The comforting myths of slick, hero-driven battles are dangerous illusions. Instead, Learn from the hard truths shared by experienced fighters and combat pros. Every decision matters, every bullet counts, and every move must be executed with precision. In the end, winning a gunfight comes down to the basics. Know your gear and its limits, get low and find cover, use both suppressive and deliberate fire, keep moving, and work as one unified team. This blend of preparation, disciplined execution, and mutual trust has helped countless fighters survive and win in the toughest situations. Stay alert, keep it simple, and trust your training and your teammates. Real combat isn't like a video game, it's raw, real, and no nonsense. Every move counts, every shot matters, and your survival depends on making smart, well-coordinated decisions when it matters most.